Oh, good morning. Hi, Kim Dunn here from Positive Young Minds, and this morning I just want to have a little chat with you about parenting books. So, being Book Week, it kind of thought this was a bit of a nice fit. Now, I'm not here to flog my own book because I haven't written one yet, um, and I'm going to put a list later down about some books that I've asked some of my fellow psychologists and peers to recommend on parenting. So later on today, have a look out for that list. But I want to start with a bit of controversy about my thoughts. You'll notice from the photo that I put up that I have a few parenting books, plus there's more that aren't in the photo, and I've borrowed quite a lot from the libraries over time. But I must admit, I have a confession. There's probably very few that I've actually read all the way through. I know. Why? Because I like you. I'm seriously busy. Sometimes I start reading and find out it's not my style. Sometimes they just make me feel like I'm not doing a very good job as a parent. So, and that's one of the dangers of these books. I remember being pregnant and thinking, wow, where am I going to get advice from? Who's going to help me? Now, aside from my mum, but I wanted, the more up to date advice, the best, and doing the absolute best and brightest I could do for my child. And that actually started when I was pregnant, when I was first pregnant. Oh, actually, it started before I got pregnant. I bought this book. I can't remember the name of it, and it outlined, the food you should eat, the things you need to do, the best time to get pregnant for the greatest chance of success. So even before my poor first child was born, I was trying to set myself up for success by reading all about it. Now, look, in some ways that was helpful. In other ways, it was probably dragging me a little bit away from my inner intuition and what I knew deep down was best for me. But I think because I was an older mother, and I don't know, I suppose I wasn't feeling very secure and didn't have a lot of trust in myself. So I find when I read parenting books, it has to come from a point of view as, yes, this is challenging me and that's good, but does it make sense for me, for who I am, for the sort of parent I want to be, for the sorts of messages that I want to send my children, and for the sort of adult that I'd like them to become. And it's always helpful to have an issue in mind when you go looking at a parenting book, and have a browse through and go, okay, what does this particular book say about, hi, welcome whoever's come and join me, send me a little like and your name will pop up and I'll be able to see who you are. So it pays to have a conversation with yourself. All right, so I want to look up about why my child's getting so angry. So in this book, I'm going to look up anger and see what they say. And does that make sense to me? And it is something I could realistically do in my family or with some support. Look up a couple of different books and choose that way and go, okay, yep, I can see this, or don't really get where this person's coming from. So I suppose that's my first tip. Have a look at different books with a problem or a concern you might have in mind. The second thing is check the reader or the author's credentials. Do they know what they're talking about? It might be okay if they say, I'm a mother and I'm writing this book, provided when you read that book, you understand that's what sort of knowledge base they're coming from. We're really lucky in Australia. I think we have a couple of really good parenting experts, but people who are writing from a psychology background who do it with a sense of humour and a bit of a sense of understanding. So one of those is Michael Cargregg, and a few of you may have seen him speak. He's quite a popular speaker for schools. He's written lots of books, that's just one of them. The other one is Andrew Fuller, very down to earth, very funny guy, but psychologist who writes with a lot of common sense. Steve Biddulph is another one, and he's just recently released a new book on girls, which I haven't read. I have read his boy one. And then this, which isn't strictly parenting, but I have to mention it because it's really, really practical. So when I'm looking at a book, okay, is there something practical in here I can use with my young person? And Evelyn Field's Bully Blocking is a good example of choosing a book where on a particular theme, about a particular theme. And it's a book I frequently recommend to my clients and their parents. So I suppose that's the second tip. Check out who's writing the book. Is it someone you're comfortable with? So the third point about parenting books is you actually don't have to read any of them at all. They're not compulsory. And if you start reading one and you go, you know what, this makes me feel like a really crap parent, and I can't do any of this, or I don't even have time to read any of this, that's okay. Maybe put it aside, a bit of holiday reading, dip in and out of it when you feel like it, or pass that on, give it to the op shop. Someone else may benefit from it as well. So I hope these points make sense to you. If they do, and if you're watching this afterwards when it's not live, please let me know. Give me a like or a love if this resonates with you and your experience of parenting books, or if you have come across a great one and you recommend it to all your friends. We'd love to share that and have you share that with us as well. So that's all for me for now. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. You know, it's a tough road out there, the parenting thing. And if you find a book that resonates with you and helps you on your journey, well done. Keep reading it. Keep referring back to it. And yeah, okay. So if, like me, you believe it takes a village to raise a child, please share these with other parents you know. Share these vlogs with other parents you know. Like my page, follow me, and together we can, as a community, grow great adults. All right, talk to you next time.